Sharon Stone, former FBI Director, Comey, and Columbo. What do they all have in common? I'm going to tell you right now. I was caught today by looking at a tweet that talked about the fact that the prosecutors have released their case against James Comey for his 8647 seashells controversy. And they released some of the evidence that they're going to be using against Comey. Now, let me tell you, this just caught me by surprise when I saw it, and I thought, oh yeah, I see how this is going to work. One of the things they found is James Comey claimed he just came upon these seashells, when he saw them, took a picture of them and tweeted them out. And it was seen by everybody on social media as a sign for taking a shot at President Trump. Comey denied all that. Wasn't his intention at all. Said he had no idea. But this prosecutor's case starts to build another story. Hi, my name's Ross McLean. I'm former law enforcement, corporate security expert, and bodyguard to billionaires. I want to tell you one of the secrets that investigators use to look to find criminal intent. Intent and motivation. When I would be investigating a crime, if I can find the motivation and the intent, that's the key that unlocks most of the mysteries that are going on in the crime. Now, what did Sharon Stone have to do with this? Well, she played a character, Karen Trammell, in Basic Instinct, who was a crime writer, a fiction crime writer, psychological thrillers. And she was being investigated by the police because she seemed to have a lot of familiarity with some murders that were going on.
Did you kill Mr. Boz, Miss Trammell?
I'd have to be pretty stupid to write a book about killing and then kill somebody the way I described it in my book. I'd be announcing myself as the killer. I'm not stupid.
We know you.
Boom. The author implicates themselves through their work. One of my favorite investigators ever is actually Columbo from TV fame. If you haven't watched the old series, watch them. It's some of the best mystery writing. It's very good the way that Columbo goes about it. And his subtle kind of, excuse me, one more question, way of asking things and seeming like he's a bit of a dummy. But he is no dummy. He knows the answer to every question before he asks it. He's looking to see what comes out of the mouths of the suspects. And he actually did at least 2 episodes on this. One of them, Murder by the Book, almost covers this off, where the author used a plot to kill someone. And that's what Columbo used to arrest and charge the person in the episode.
Well, I think I can prove it is. Maybe I ought to read this to you. Idea for a Melville book, perfect alibi. A wants to kill B. Drives B to a remote house and has him call his wife in city. Tells her he's working late at the office. Bang, bang. Sound familiar? That's the plot you used. Practically word for word.
James Comey. Guess what? He released a book 2 days after the seashells incident came out. James Comey is a prolific author of crime novels. And this novel that he had just released, or FDR it's called, there's the title of it. Apparently the premise is a podcaster who wants to spurn activists onto violence, but doesn't want to be connected to the violence. And so he develops this way of being able to say things and do things online that then inspire people to do violence. But he has a plausible deniability alibi with his podcast that he didn't really mean it. So it seems the prosecutors found that in Comey's book. Now, let me tell you, as an investigator, one of the things that I always look for when I'm talking to people is most people who go to commit crimes, they think them through in advance. They rehearse them in their mind. They live them out, if you will, and they think about what may happen if I do this, if I get that, if they resist here, what will I do? How will I manage it? How am I going to get away? And what's my clever alibi story going to be if this gets found out? So they always think it through in their mind first, usually before committing it. Let's leave those opportunistic crime people out of the way. So what this book gives is Comey has put a lot of thought into how to do certain crimes, how they're done. Now, he would know them, a lot of them. He's the FBI director. He spent his life dealing with this, looking at it and how to untangle people. But what Comey probably forgot is so many of the people who commit acts, they secretly really confess to them through their words and their actions and through these rehearsals that they do. Now, Comey claims that he had no intent at all, nothing to do with that. He had no idea why it was so bad, or this joke of 8647 was bad. Yet the prosecutors found this information, that his wife had talked with him just before he put the pictures up, texted with him on what 8647 would mean. So he had some idea. He put it up to go viral? He says not. But yet later on they find that he was texting with his publishers saying, hey, this will probably help book sales. So he was expecting that something like that would go viral. And then he went off and he did his interviews for his book tour. So as an investigator, as I said, you have to get inside the mind of people and how they would rehearse and how they would do the crime. And in this case, as an author, you have them walking through the actual thought process and then replicating it later. This will be a powerful piece of evidence. Now, the evidence that's used by an investigator is different perhaps than what a prosecutor may use or how the court may see it, but it sure helps to unravel what the problem is. This is why, as investigators, we're always going to get it from the suspects in their own words. And words give things away. The structure of sentences, the types of words used, the verbs, the relationship of the words. I'll get into that in other videos. But this is an important piece of evidence that has now come up. And let's see how this goes when the trial comes on of the 86ing of 47. Did Comey help to write the ending to his own book?